S corporation owners that work in the business are required to take reasonable compensation, W-2 wages, before they can take distributions. Since this has been historically abused, the IRS has announced that they're going to be cracking down on this. So you want to make sure that you have data on file to support your reasonable compensation in case there was an audit. So we'd recommend documenting your hours worked, your industry standards, so researching what is going on in the industry in your area, looking at your education and background, because if you're performing, if one of the hats that you're wearing in your business is advertising, where are you in regard to advertising as far as skill level? And you need to pay yourself for that work reasonably. So you wouldn't pay somebody who has no experience advertising the same that you would pay somebody who's have 20 years experience and has gone to school for it, and they're amazing at that skill. So that comes into play. And there are softwares. I know I use a software that I will send my clients a questionnaire, and they sort of walk through what hats do you wear. It gives them different job descriptions, and then they can pick where they fall as far as their competency level in those skills. And then it will pull all of the data from the industries, the zip code that they're in, and then we have a full report to support their reasonable compensation, and we have that on file. So if they're audited, we can pull that out, give it to the IRS, and then the IRS will essentially leave us alone, right? Because we'll have what we need, because it's all about documentation and being sure that you're doing your due diligence and you've done the work. If they come in and say, hey, how did you come up with this? And you're like, I don't know, I just pulled a number that feels good. They could change it. And then, if they increase it, it could be back taxes and interest and penalties on all that payroll tax that should have been paid in. And it can get pretty steep. So I'd say make sure you're taking the time to document that every year and have it on file. And if you have a CPA that has access to software that can help, it can be a huge time saver and headache saver. And if you're interested, you could always give me a call and I can help you out.